What's up guys, EJ here, back with another video, and it's going to be my DVD update for July 24th, 2012. So I've got 8 new DVDs to show you, sort of 5 movies, and one of the movies spawned a TV show, and so I picked up some of those. And this update is very obscure and geared towards my fellow British followers. These are all sort of animated and kids stuff from when I was growing up in England, from the late 70s and 80s. Some of these things a lot of you may not have seen, but if you have, please let me know what you think of them. They're very nostalgic to me. I don't really remember them that well because I haven't seen them in over 20 years, so bear with me. But let's get straight into it. Up first we have the BFG, or the Big Friendly Giant, based on the book by Roald Dahl. Sort of a cutesy animated movie that's not really that cute, because it's about big giants who snatch kids out of their homes in the middle of the night and eat them. I remember seeing this when I was obviously about 11 or 12 years old, and it was actually pretty scary at the time, especially the giants. I'm sure many of you may have read the book by Roald Dahl, but the Big Friendly Giant from 1989 just came out, and it's produced by Cosgrove Hall Studios. Cosgrove Hall made many great sort of British children's TV and films back in the 80s, including something I'll get to in a minute. But they made TV shows like Danger Mouse and Count Duckula, which some of you may be familiar with. This features the voice of Jason David, who became very famous on the show Only Fools and Horses and other British TV back in the 80s. Only Fools and Horses was a hilarious show. One that I'm thinking about picking up, because it's come down in price quite a bit on Amazon, so I'm looking into getting that. But this film, the BFG, the Big Friendly Giant, cool animated movie from 1989. Okay, up next. Now, prior to 2001, when Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy came out, this was the only thing that I was really familiar with when it came to Lord of the Rings. I vaguely remembered seeing this when I was a kid, and I rewatched it after the movies came out and after I had read the books, and that is The Lord of the Rings, the animated classic. Original animated classic from 1978, directed by Ralph Bakshi. Yeah, so I vaguely remember watching it when I was a kid, but I rewatched it like 10 years ago when the new movies came out. It's not that good. It's kind of, it rushes a lot of stuff. It crams a whole bunch of the story of Lord of the Rings into 90 minutes basically, and the film ends like right after the Battle of Helm's Deep. So what Peter Jackson did in over a film and a half, this tries to do in 90 minutes. So you can imagine how truncated this story is. But it's still actually pretty cool. There's some cool animation, and there's a scene that Peter Jackson deliberately copied right from this film. If you've seen like the making of Fellowship of the Ring, he talks about that, and he wanted to pay homage to this film. I have not seen the other animated Lord of the Rings films that is sort of in the Spain, The Hobbit and The Return of the King. Every time I look at them, I'm always like sort of turned off by the look of the cover of the animation. It just looks too stupid and silly. But this film has its moments. Yeah, it says on the back, based on the novels The Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers. Yeah, Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings from 1978. Okay, up next, This is so obscure, in fact, that I had to get the Region 2 DVD because it's not available in the US, and it's a Disney film, in fact. And it's One of Our Dinosaurs is Missing from 1975. Directed by Robert Stevenson, starring Peter Ustinov and Helen Hayes. Now this was loads of fun when I remember watching this when I was a kid. It's sort of about a spy who steals this secret from the Chinese, and he hides it amongst the dinosaur at the British Natural History Museum, and two nannies have to sort of find it and protect it from these Chinese agents running around in London. It's loads of fun, and the only thing I really do remember is the shot of the dinosaur bones, the big dinosaur on the flatbed truck going through the fog of London. It's a very funny and sort of fun film. If you get a chance to see this, I highly recommend checking it out. Especially if you're from across the pond and you remember this, let me know what you think, because I remember loving this movie when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it in forever. So that's One of Our Dinosaurs is Missing. Okay, up next is another animated film that I don't remember at all, really. And that's Watership Down from 1978, directed by Martin Rosen. It's about a bunch of rabbits who are threatened by various forces and have to flee their warren. Yeah, I really don't remember this at all, but it's sort of in the vein of like Bambi, I guess. Came out in 1978, so definitely looking forward to checking this out, because it's been a long time. But I do remember seeing it back in the day. Some good special features. A conversation with the filmmakers, writer-director Martin Rosen and editor Terry Rawlings, defining a style. Animators, artists, and actor Joss Ackland collaborate on the creation of Richard Adams' character. Storyboard to screen, multi-angle comparison of 4 segments. So some good stuff on this DVD. It's a deluxe edition. Watership Down from 1978. Okay, sort of last but not least is The Wind in the Willows from 1983. This is the animated film that came out in '83 that spawned the television show. Of course, it follows the adventures of these 4 characters: Mole, Badger, Toad, and Rat. They were always sort of fighting against these scary-looking weasels, from what I remember. Takes place in a place called Toad Hall in the Wild Wood, and this is also from Cosgrove Hall Studios. And yeah, on the back it says creators of Danger Mouse and Count Duckula. I vaguely remember this. Really good stop-motion animation. These are sort of like claymation characters, if you like, but it's more stop motion. So yeah, I wanted to pick this up because I remember seeing it as a kid. Not the film, this per se, but I do remember the TV show. So I picked up the complete first series of The Wind in the Willows. Came out in 1984 following the movie. And I also picked up the complete second series. And these are nice 2-disc editions. So like this. Nice colorful artwork and so on. They only come with about 7 episodes each series. Well, actually 7 on each disc, so about 13 or 14. And doing my research and picking these up, I only found out later on that there's actually like 4 or 5 seasons, but these are the only 2 seasons available in the US. So that's a shame. But just the first and the second is good enough for now. And they're put out by A&E, and I don't know if these have been shown on A&E here in the U.S. I'm certainly not familiar with them if they have, but I do remember watching these as a kid. Um, yeah, so that's Wind in the Willows, the complete first and second series. And I also picked up The Wind in the Willows, A Tale of Two Toads, which is a 1989 film following the series. This is available, but I don't know, seasons 3 and 4 and 5, I believe, are not. Yeah, so The Wind in the Willows from the 80s. If you're a kid back then in England or the British Isles, you may remember this show. The animation was really good from what I remember, and the voice cast includes the likes of. It's not on here, so I'll look over here. Yeah, featuring the voices of Sir Michael Hordern, Richard Pearson, Peter Sallis, and David Jason, who I, of course, mentioned earlier from Only Fools and Horses. Yeah, so if you're familiar with any of these, please let me know, because I haven't seen any of them in over 20 years, except the animated Lord of the Rings. So there you go, a very obscure update this week. Sorry if you're not very familiar with these, but I want to sort of relive my childhood with all these sort of 80s and 70s comedies and kids movies and so on that I watched when I was a kid, and I remember them vaguely, but not enough to really go into detail about what they're about. But yeah, looking forward to checking these out, that's for sure. So thank you as always for tuning in, and yeah, on Saturday I'll have a new top 10 list continuing on my top 10 films of the 2000s, 2001 it should be. So until then, I'll see you.